Welcome, beloved soul family, to another heart-centered episode of your Soul Essentials. I am Sylvia, your host, and I am honored to be here with you today, diving deep into the luminous and nurturing wisdom of Gene Key 27. This Gene Key holds the transmission of a deep care, reverence for life, and soul-level nourishment. It takes us on a powerful journey from the shadow of selfishness through the gift of altruism and into the sublime Siddhi of Selflessness. Gene Key 27 is active in the galactic field from April the 21st to April the 27th. And during this time, we are invited to reflect on how we give, how we receive, and how we nourish others and ourselves from the deepest place of love. In this transmission, we will explore the shadow, the gift, and the Siddhi of Gene Key 27, from selfishness to altruism to selflessness. Astrological reflections including Chiron and Black Moon Lilith, the fixed stars that align with the frequency of divine nourishment, galactic soul lineages like the Hathors, Syrians and Venusian emissaries, essential oils to nurture your heart and restore energetic balance, mantras, and some questions to help you embody sacred generosity. And of course, a final message to root into loving presence as a vessel of divine service. So take a deep breath with me and let's begin this journey of the heart. The shadow of Gene Key 27 is selflessness, but not necessarily in the way we commonly think. This selfishness is often unconscious, a subtle withdrawal of energy, care, or attention. It can manifest as emotional hoarding, neglect of the body or others, or disconnection from life's interdependence. This shadow often arises from wounds of lack. Perhaps you weren't nourished as a child, or your boundaries were violated. So you learned to protect yourself by withholding, hoarding, or focusing inward out of survival. Where do I withhold nourishment from myself or others? What fear prevents me from sharing or opening more deeply? The shadow of selflessness is a cry for reconnection. When we begin to recognize our fear of depletion, we also open the door to a more abundant flow. As we transmute the fear of not having enough, we open into the gift of altruism. Altruism is not martyrdom. It is the conscious choice to care, to serve, and to give from a well that is nourished within. It is heart-based generosity that uplifts both the giver and the receiver. This gift also includes knowing your limits. True altruism involves healthy boundaries and self-care, so your giving is sustainable and empowered. How can I care for others while honoring my own needs? What does sacred giving look like in my life today? Where this gift activates, your presence alone becomes medicine. The highest of expression of Gene Key 27 is selflessness. This Siddhi is not about disappearing or becoming a doormat. It is about becoming a pure vessel for divine nourishment to move through you. In this state, there is no separation between giver and receiver. You become the cosmic mother, the eternal caretaker, the embodiment of compassion that sees and feeds the divine in all beings. This selflessness is luminous. It is effortless. It is an overflow of presence. Can I allow to love to move through me without needing recognition? What does it feel like to be a channel of unconditional care? Gene Key 27 resides in the nurturing, earthly sign of Taurus, specifically from 3 degrees to 8 degrees, and its energy is intimately tied to themes of nourishment, devotion, and inner integrity. As it moves through the planets, each placement reveals how we give and receive care, not just to others, but also to ourselves and life itself. Now let us take a look into the astrological planetary reflections with Gene Key 27. The Sun is all about devotional vitality. Your soul shines when you're caring for something greater than yourself, whether through people, nature, or creative vision. Your vitality increases when your life has meaning rooted in service and love. Where does my purpose meet the act of giving? The Moon is all about emotional nourishment. Emotional security is tied to feeling nurtured and valued. You may feel deeply fulfilled when you're caring for others, but also need to learn how to care for yourself without guilt. Do I allow myself to receive the care I so easily give? Mercury. This is the voice of compassion. Your communication carries a healing frequency. You're here to speak kindness, to nourish with your words, and to share knowledge that feeds the soul. Do my thoughts and words uplift, soften, and support others? Venus is all about sacred reciprocity. In relationships, you give with your whole heart, but it is essential to remember that mutual nourishment is key. Love becomes divine when both giving and receiving are honored. Where am I overgiving? And where can I invite more balance? Mars is the fierce protector. You act as a warrior of care, and there is strength in your nurturing, and your drive is rooted in protecting the well-being of others. This is divine masculine in service to love. Is my action guided by compassion or obligation? Jupiter is all about expanding generosity. You are a teacher of abundance through sharing, and your wisdom grows when you model selfless giving, but you also learn that boundaries enhance generosity, not limit it. How do I define spiritual generosity in my life? Saturn, the lessons in self-care. Saturn here teaches that giving must be sustainable. You're here to master healthy boundaries so that your care comes from integrity, not depletion. Where am I learning to say yes to myself? Uranus is all about radical nourishment. You may offer nourishment in unconventional ways, and your presence awakens others to new ways of caring, healing, and connecting. You shake up rigid caregiving roles. How am I redefining what it means to care? Neptune is our divine compassion. With this placement, your compassion may feel limitless. You channel soul nourishment through art, dreams, and spiritual service, but be mindful of dissolving into others' needs. Am I merging or serving? Pluto is all about transformational devotion. You have likely experienced power dynamics around giving, where care was used to manipulate or control. Now you are here to transform nourishment into empowerment. How can I make my devotion empowering, not enabling? The North Node is the soul path of sacred service. Your path is one of learning to care with wisdom, boundaries, and heart. You are evolving into someone who nourishes life itself while remaining whole within. And what does service from the soul look like for me? Chiron, healing through nourishment. You may carry ancestral or childhood wounds around neglect, overgiving, or codependency. But your healing path is to become a safe harbor for yourself and others. And what part of me is still yearning to be held? And Black Moon Lilith is the fierce feminine care. There may be rage or grief around being unseen or unvalued in your caregiving. Lilith teaches the raw power of saying, I matter too. Can I reclaim my right to receive without apology? Gene Key 27, nested in the early degrees of Taurus, just about 3 till 8 degrees, is deeply aligned with the archetype of divine nourishment, the kind that doesn't drain, but restores and uplifts. Several powerful fixed stars vibrate with this earthy, heart-centered energy, stars that speak to care, sustenance, healing, and even rebirth. Here are some of the stars that most intimately aligned with this frequency. There is the star Schedir on 4 degrees in the Taurus section. Schedir is located in the constellation of Cassiopeia, and the theme is graceful authority, feminine leadership, and honoring the self. Schedir is often associated with noble strength, the kind that doesn't dominate but leads through sovereign care. This star empowers you to nurture without martyrdom, to offer without losing your center. It is the energy of the Queen Mother archetype, wise, radiant, and deeply rooted. How can I honor my power through the way I care? Then we have the star Hamal. It's about on 7 degrees in the Aries section. Hamal is located in the constellation of Aries, and the themes are initiatory force, instinct, and bold compassion. Though technically in Aries, Hamal's proximity allows it to touch the Gene Key 27 window. It brings courageous devotion, the type of nourishment that is not passive but fierce and protective. It is the archetype of the caregiver who says, no more, when boundaries are crossed, and who defends the sanctity of love. Where is my care asking for courage? Then we have the star Mira on 1 degrees in the Taurus section. Mira is a star from the constellation of Cetus, also named the Whale. And the themes are emotional depth, ancient grief, and the healing feminine. Mira is a star of the deep waters, connected to ancient memory, emotional ties, and intergenerational care. It helps process ancestral grief and teaches that nourishing others sometimes means facing what hasn't yet been felt or forgiven. And what emotional inheritance is asking to be lovingly tended? And we have the star Alcyone on 0 degrees in the Gemini section. Alcyone is a star from the Pleiadian star cluster, and the themes are heart awakening, light codes of emotional intelligence. Alcyone is the central star of the Pleiades, vibrates with heart-centered compassion and empathic grace. Though just outside Taurus, it informs the field of Gene Key 27 with multi-dimensional nourishment. It is the cosmic midwife, the nurturer of timelines and emotional truth. Am I nourishing others from my overflow or my depletion? Together, these stars nurture a spectrum of care, from bold and protective to graceful and intuitive. They hold the codes of sacred service, emotional maturity, and loving self-sovereignty. In the Gene Key 27 field, these stellar frequencies remind us that real nourishment begins within and ripples out into the world, not as duty, but as a devotional act of cosmic love. Gene Key 27, vibrating with the progression from selflessness, altruism, and selflessness, is deeply attuned to service, embodied compassion, and energetic stewardship. These are the frequencies held not only by human healers and caregivers, but also by ancient star nations that have guided Earth evolution through subtle soul impressions and encoded light. Here are some of the galactic lineages whose essence beautifully aligns with the nurturing signature of Gene Key 27. There we have the Arcturians. The home star is Arcturus in the Boots constellation, and the core frequencies are healing technology, energetic architecture, and planetary guardianship. The Arcturians are master healers and frequency stabilizers. They carry wisdom about energetic boundaries, quantum nourishment, and sacred service through structure. In the context of Gene Key 27, Arcturian aligned souls often embody the sacred caretaker role, creating containers of healing, holding space for others' evolution, and reminding us that true service comes from clarity, not depletion. My care is a frequency that restructures energy into harmony. And am I structuring my life in ways that allow me to nourish others sustainably? And then we have the Pleiadians. The home stars are the Pleiades star cluster like Alcyone, Taygeta, Maya, and the core frequencies are heart-based living, emotional intelligence, and earth stewardship. Pleiadian consciousness holds a blueprint for empathic nourishment, how to truly feel, hold, and honor the emotions of self and others. Those with Gene Key 27 strongly active may feel a Pleiadian soul signature, often drawn to healing arts, plant medicine, or energetic mothering. They radiate gentle leadership and often bring calm, soothing frequencies into environments that are chaotic or disconnected. My open heart is a portal through which love can restore the world. And where am I being asked to soften, receive, or offer care without fear of losing myself? And there we have the Venusians. Home planet is Venus as a dimensional consciousness, and the core frequencies are beauty, devotion, and sacred feminine embodiment. Venusian starseeds, often seen as keepers of divine sensuality, harmony, and sacred love, resonate deeply with the Siddhi of Selflessness. In Gene Key 27, this Venusian current expresses as the devotional caregiver who serves not out of obligation, but from a deep attunement to the divine within all beings. They are often embodied mystics, creating beauty, nourishment, and intimacy in subtle and profound ways. My presence is a blessing, and my love is a sacred offering. Can I let my care become a ritual of remembrance for myself and others? And then we have the Hathors, as higher dimensional consciousness connected to Venus and Sirius. And the essence is sound healing, quantum nourishment, and temple wisdom. The Hathors, often linked with ancient Egypt and Venusian Syrian star bridges, bring teachings on sound healing, nourishment through frequency, and joyful sacred service. When Gene Key 27 is activated, Hathorian souls may feel called to sing, tone, or create rituals or infuse food, touch, and presence with cosmic remembrance. The vibrations of my love is a medicine beyond form. What sacred technologies of nourishment am I meant to carry and share? Each of these galactic lineages, Arcturian, Pleiadian, Venusian, and Hathorian, reflects an aspect of Gene Key 27's higher calling, to serve from the heart, not from duty, to nourish others as a sacred act of soul expression, to become embodied channels of grace, integrity, and loving remembrance. Through their frequencies, we are reminded that true selflessness doesn't empty us, it fulfills us. Gene Key 27 resonates with the archetype of the nurturer, the one who feeds life, protects innocence, and sustains what is good. But in a world of depletion and emotional noise, how do we nourish others without abandoning ourselves? There are some oils that gently guide us back to wholeness, helping us remember that we are vessels of life-giving frequency. There is the oil of rose, the oil of divine love and compassion. Rose holds the frequency of pure, unbounded love. It softens the heart, dissolves emotional armoring, and invites the remembrance that to love is sacred work. Perfect when you feel dry, numb, or closed off from your innate ability to give and receive love. Apply 1 drop over your heart area before healing sessions, rituals, or meditation. You combine this with sweet almond oil for an anointing blend. And there is the oil of basil. This is the oil of renewal and soul vitality. Basil restores inner strength and energetic vitality, especially when your caregiving has left you depleted. It reminds you that self-nourishment is not selfish, it is foundational. Inhale deeply from your palms to recharge after giving or when fatigue sets in. Use during journaling to access your own needs. Then we have the oil of cedar wood. This is the oil of ancestral support and safe structure. Cedar wood is grounding, stabilizing, and creates a container of safe protection for sensitive empaths and energetic caregivers. It is perfect for times when you feel overly porous or energetically invaded. Diffuse it in your space when holding energetic space for others. Or apply it to the soles of your feet to root your energy after caregiving or public presence. Then we have the oil of geranium. This is the oil of heart balance and emotional flow. Geranium balances the emotional body and supports the heart in finding equilibrium between giving and receiving. It gently uplifts and harmonizes, especially when you feel emotionally overwhelmed by others' needs. Add it to your bath with pink Himalayan salt after emotional release, or apply it to your wrists when practicing acts of forgiveness or compassion. And then we have the oil of sandalwood. This is the oil of sacred presence and higher devotion. Sandalwood opens the crown chakra while grounding the lower chakras, the perfect balance for devotional service. It reminds you that selflessness is not about doing more, it is about being more present. Anoint your third eye before meditation or when praying for others. Beautiful in rituals for soul offerings and devotion. And here are some sacred blending suggestions. The heart of the nourisher. You can blend rose, geranium, and cedarwood. Or the sacred service blend. You can blend sandalwood, basil, and frankincense. Or the energetic replenishment bath. Use Epsom salt, rose, basil, and chamomile. Always blend with the carrier oil, like for example jojoba oil or coconut oil for topical use. Every drop is a messenger of ancient wisdom. Let it teach your body how to soften, how to hold, and how to radiate sacred nourishment. Let the oils remind your nervous system it is safe to receive, safe to give, and sacred to be a vessel of grace. And here are some mantras that anchoring the energy of altruism and selfless love. These mantras are like sacred codes, spoken medicine that clears old programming and attunes you to the Gene Key 27, Siddhi of Selflessness. Speak them aloud, whisper them to your heart, or let them be part of your breathwork, journaling, or morning rituals. I nourish myself first so I may nourish the world. Love flows through me, not from me. It is safe to be generous and strong, and the act of caring is holy. I serve from my overflow. My soul feeds what is life-giving. I am not here to save, I am here to radiate presence. And I trust that every act of love echoes through eternity. How you can work with these mantras? How do you work with these mantras? During morning practice, repeat one mantra while placing your hand on your heart. Or in a sacred bath, whisper mantras as you soak with rose or chamomile oil. Or in journaling, begin each journal entry with one mantra as your intention. Or before sleep, breathe the mantra in through your heart and out through your womb or root chakra, letting the body feel the frequency of safe giving. And here are some reflection prompts. Soul Inquiry with Gene Key 27. These questions are for inner dialogue, to help you attune where nourishment, boundaries, and divine giving are alive, or maybe lacking in your life. Where have I been giving from depletion instead of overflow? What does sacred nourishment look like in my life, physically, emotionally, and spiritually? Can I allow myself to receive the same compassion I so easily give to others? And how do I know when I am serving from soul, not from ego? What is one way I can embody selfless love without sacrificing myself? Selflessness is not about emptying yourself. It is about becoming so full of life that it spills effortlessly into everything you touch. Let these mantras and reflections help you remember. Nourishment is an act of alignment, and generosity is a natural result of wholenessness. Dear Radiant Soul, Gene Key 27 teaches us one of the most sacred truths of all. To nourish is divine, not from sacrifice, not from burnout, but from a place of overflowing presence. A love so full that it becomes a quiet revolution in your family, your community, and this planet. You are not here to fix the world. You are here to love it, nourish it, and awaken its beauty, starting within yourself. So let this week be your sacred experiment in nourishment. Nourish your body with rest and vitality. Nourish your heart with truth and gentleness. And nourish others from the sacred yes, not the obligated should. And when you do, you embody the Siddhi of Selflessness, where there is no giver or receiver, only the grace of love flowing through you. If this transmission touched you, uplifted you, or helped you feel more held, please like this video to support the space. Leave me a comment. I would truly love to hear how Gene Key 27 shows up in your life. And subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming transmissions. We are walking this journey together. And remember, you are worthy of the love you so generously give to others. I thank you for being here, and I thank you for the way you nourish the world, just by being you. With reverence, with joy, and always with cosmic love. Shanti Ishta, and thank you.